Thanks for coming into the live stream. Teague here, musiclearning.com is the site, TripFuse is the channel and the band. And today we're going to do a little finger picking with a Carcassy tune called Study in A minor. So what's really kind of neat about this is we have the thumb is going to play on each beat, and these are going to be all 16th notes, so the thumb is going to play on the downbeat of each beat, and then index, middle, and ring are going to play on the same string for the E and So before we jump right into the tune, we would go like, let's suppose, open E with the thumb, and then on high E we'll go index, then middle, same string, then ring, same string. So 1 E and so that would be our beat. 1 E and 2 E and So this will be kind of the gist of the piece, and that's what we're going to work on mostly. There's a few other parts in it, but that's mostly what we're going to work on. What's kind of neat about this is when I picked up this classical guitar, it also, and I started, I thought I'm going to do a live stream on this finger picking idea from this study, but it also brought back another piece I used to play a long time ago, which I don't think that if somebody had asked me to, I don't even know what the name of this piece is, but I used to play this many years ago and hadn't played it in many years, but it came to me. I don't know what that is. If anybody knows what the name of that is, I would love to know. I used to play it a long time ago. Anyway, that uses the same idea, where we're going to go thumb and then index, middle, ring on the same string. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Neat? Okay, so let's jump into the piece. But that's what you might want to take a moment to just work on again. I'm just using low, open E on the beat. Index, middle, ring is going to play E and 1 E and 2 E. So tick, 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 tick if you have the metronome on. And then we'll work on speeding it up. Okay, let's jump into the piece. So we're going to start, it's basically Study in A minor, so you might have already guessed it's going to be a lot of kind of A minor chord stuff here. So we're basically starting with what looks like an A minor chord. However, the only note we need is our open A, 5th string. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thumb is going to play that. Then we're going to play A, the 2nd fret of your 3rd string. And that will be our index, middle, ring. So open A, then A an octave higher to go index, middle, ring. So again, if you've never done any of that, it is going to feel a little awkward for sure. You can actually also play with a pick. I don't have a pick on me. Down, up, I would just alternate pick it, down, up, down, up. It's actually an awesome pick exercise too. And if I had a pick, we would do it both ways. But since this is going to be a finger pick lesson, let's stick with finger picking. So again, thumb plays the open A. Then we're going to A an octave higher, which is the 2nd fret of your 3rd string, where we're going to go index, middle, ring on that same string. 1 E and Okay, we're only going to do it once, just beat one, but you can practice that for a minute. Then we're going to play C. I'm using my middle finger on this A, and I'll show you why in a moment. Let me try to think. Yeah, I definitely want to use the middle finger. I'll show you why here in just a second. Then we're going to put C on the 3rd fret of your 5th string, like your C chord. But we're going to leave the middle finger on the A because now we're going to play C. So the thumb is still playing that same string, that 5th string, but now we hear a C. But we'll once again You know what I just realized? Sometimes I'm actually going index, middle, ring. Sometimes I'm going ring, middle, index. guess it doesn't matter. It's up to you. What do I do when I'm not thinking about it? I'm actually going ring, middle, index. Okay, so it's up to you. That's index, middle, ring, or ring, middle, index. It's up to you. Try both and see what you like the feel of better. I think I've decided I like ring, index, middle better. So I'm going thumb, ring, middle, then index. Or that by itself is a great exercise, right? One way, then the other way. Super great exercise. Okay, so we went from the A to the C, then that was beat 2. We're gonna drop the third finger down to give us an F, so the third fret of your 4th string. We're gonna still keep this second finger on the A. So we have A, C, F. Notice I just tried picking it both ways. Try both. You probably, if you find one makes more sense than the other, might want to stick with that one. Last note of the measure 1, so beat 1, 2, 3. We're going to go E. This is why we played our middle finger on that A to begin with, because the last beat we have E on beat 4. We're going to use our first finger. That E is right above your A, so it is the 2nd fret of your 4th string. Oh, I shouldn't have left my 2nd finger. It should stay there, right? So A, C, those are both on the same string. Thumb comes down to the 4th string, right, to give us this F, then E. So A, C, F, E. So the beats are just 1, 2, 3, 4 with the thumb. And in between it, you have these A on the E and A. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. Kind of neat? Okay, moving on. Again, you may want to practice that a bit. You may want to even pause this. I mean, this is a live stream, so if you're watching right now, well, I guess you can still pause a live stream, right? That shows you how many live streams I actually watch. I'm just going to refresh this page to make sure I'm not missing anything, because I am just watching on my phone, but I want to make sure that I don't miss any Okay, there we go. Just in case anybody has any questions, feel free to throw any questions my way. I was considering, when I was thinking about the live stream, I was considering doing this one. Do you recognize that? Very, very different. That's the beginning of that Metallica's Battery. But it's played on a nylon string, so when I picked up the nylon string, I thought of that too. Okay, so measure 1 more time. Right? A, open. C, 3rd fret of that same string. F, 3rd fret of your 4th string. E, 2nd fret of your 4th string. In between each of those notes, the 3 A's, 2nd fret of your 3rd string, which we're going E and A, and you could either go ring, middle, index, or middle, ring, index, up to you. Okay, hopefully everybody's doing good with that so far. David, how are you? Good to see you. I hope you have your guitar in hand. Okay, moving on to measure 2 now. Measure 2, we're going to break this boom da 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 boom da 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 thing up a little bit, and we're going to play some chord shapes. So the first one is like a D minor chord. You probably know your D minor chord. Right, but we only need fingers 1 and finger 2. So 1st fret of your E string, 2nd fret of your 3rd string to give us an F and an A. And in this case now, our thumb is going to the 4th string, and we're going to go 4 with the thumb. Index is going to play the 3rd, which is this A. I'm using my middle finger to play the 1st string. So did I say my ring finger? my middle finger is not doing anything. And we're going to go thumb, index, the third string, first string, back to the third string. Thumb, index, ring, index. 4/16 notes still. 1 E and A. Again, I just have this D minor shape, but I don't need this, so I'm not. You could put it in there, but we're not playing the second string, so I'm just playing 1 and 2. This is what I have. All right, so if I go from the first part, that's what we end up with here. And everything's going to kind of ring, so you let it all ring. Beat 1, beat 2. Middle finger is still going to stay where it was. So notice we still haven't left from the beginning of the piece. We have not left, that second finger has stayed there. So for here, we're going to put our third finger, this is beat 2 of the second measure, we're going to, hello from Russia, hello! We're going to put our third finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And now we're going to play, so the thumb is going to move to the 5th string. We're going to go thumb, index, ring. Ring is now playing open E. We're taking this first finger away. Middle finger did not move. Here was our first shape, the D minor. And here's now our, basically, like a A minor with a C in the bass shape. And we'll do the same thing. Thumb, index, ring, index. But now we're going strings 5, 3, 1, 3. I'm still using the same 3 fingers I did on the D minor, but my thumb has gone to the 5th string instead of the 4th. And we have this C here now. Pretty easy. So from the beginning, all right. Beat 1 and 2. Beat 3 of this second measure, we're going to go, we're going to put our second finger on the B, 2nd fret of your 5th string, and we're now leaving the A, so we no longer, remember that finger was on the A, so it's coming up, same fret, but it's going from the 3rd string to the 5th string. Our first finger is going to go to the 1st fret of your 3rd string for a G sharp. Let me see which finger I like to use here. Doesn't really matter. We need the 3rd fret of our 2nd string. I kind of like the pinky, but you could use your 3rd finger if you wanted. I like the pinky. Now, because I have this 2nd string, I am going to use my middle finger. I'm going to repeat that because I'm not sure if I said that right. So let's do this again. Our 2nd finger went from the A here to the B. First finger is playing the 1st fret of your 3rd string for a G sharp. And then we need this D, the 3rd fret of your 2nd string, which you can play with your pinky or your 3rd finger. I like the pinky. And now my thumb is still on the 5th string. Index has the 3rd string. I'm using my middle finger now, because remember before I went ring, but that was because I was skipping that 2nd string, right? On the D minor, I skipped the 2nd string, which would be my middle finger. So I went thumb, index, ring, index, and the same thing for the 2nd chord, because I skipped it. But now that we need the 2nd string, I'm going to use my middle. So I'm going thumb, index, middle, index. It's giving us like an E7 type shape chord. And then we're back to what we did on beat 1, which was the A minor shape. So measure 2, or sorry, I said beat 1. Actually, no, that's not beat 1. We haven't done this. This one looks like this. First finger is on the 1st fret of your 2nd string. 2nd finger is on the 2nd fret of your 3rd string. So it's like your A minor chord that we would play like that, but we don't need this E, so I'm playing it like this. And I'm going to go thumb on 5 still, index on 3rd, middle on 2, back to index on 3rd. So it was the exact same fingering. This hand did not change from this. This will stay the same. Anytime you can find those consistencies, you want to try to kind of make a little mental note that, okay, my finger does not change. So beat 1 and 2 of that guess that's not totally true. It changed it a little bit, right? The thumb went from 4 to 5, but index and ring stayed the same, going from 3 to 1. All right, so all together now we have kind of neat, a little faster. That's fun, right? All right, let's keep moving. Again, pause it and work on that part. And then I'm probably not going to do the entire piece on this live stream, but we'll go a little further. We'll try to get maybe to the end of that first section, and then I'll save it for, I'll do it. So subscribe, turn on your notifications so you'll be notified if you want to learn the rest of it with me. And there's some other classical pieces I'd like to teach too. I have interest in teaching this one. I'll practice it a bit first before I try to teach it. Actually, another one that goes way back. I haven't played in a long, long time. So I don't, well, I own a classical guitar, but it's not a very good one. This is my dad's, and that's where I'm at the moment, so that's why I'm playing it, and that's why this live stream is going in the direction it went in. Okay, little recap. Here's where we're at, and we're going to have the next section. Okay, that's measure 1 and 2. We're moving on to measure 3. The shape we had here, the last shape we had, right? First finger was on that first fret of the second string. Second finger was on the second fret of the third string. I don't know why everything just got darker there all of a sudden. Hey, the whole, like I lost my lights. Maybe I'll turn on a light. One moment. Okay, that's probably, did it help any? I'm not sure that helped any. Okay, here we go. Measure 2. David says, my son sold a 73 SG Custom. Oh, brought a telly, very fun. I love guitar talk. Okay, let's keep going. So the last part we had here was this A minor shape. All we're doing now is you're gonna take away your first finger off that C, and the thumb will move from the 5th string to the 4th string. Your middle finger will stay on the A. And we're just going thumb, index, middle, back to index. 4, 3, 2, 3. And all you're holding is this A on the 2nd fret of your 3rd string. Now, this measure's pretty easy actually, so we're gonna go from this, measure 1, we're going to play D sharp, the 1st fret of your 4th string. This right hand stays the same, still going 4, 3, 2, 3, thumb, index, middle, index. So we had we're going to slide it a half step forward to E, 2nd fret of your 4th string. This hand's still the same, so thumb, index, middle, index, 4, 3, 2, 3. Then we're going to play the 3rd fret of your 4th string with my 3rd finger here to give me an F. I'm just leaving these 2 fingers down. So you'll notice that all the thumb is doing here is going D, D sharp, E, F, 4 half steps in a row. That's measure 3. Pretty easy, right? This hand does the same thing through that whole measure. 4, 3, 2, 3. Thumb, index, middle, index. And this finger, this hand just goes open D, D sharp, which is the 1st fret of that D string, 4th string. E, 2nd fret of that same string. F, 3rd fret of that same string. Back to E. I got ahead of myself. We do go back to E. Now we need our A minor shape. We need the whole A minor chord. So this is going to be a little bit weird because we went from... So there's a bit of a switch because we had Our first finger was on that E. We have to jump our second finger to that E. Third finger comes in under for that A. First finger plays the C. So it's A minor shape. You probably know that chord. And from here we're going to go 4, 3, 2, 3. So same thing in this hand, the right hand. Then for beat, that's beat 1 of measure 4 now. Thumb is going to come to low open E, still holding that A minor chord. Index and middle will stay the same. They're going to go 3, 2, 3. Index, middle, index. So we went. So 4, 3, 2, 3. 6, 3, 2, 3. Then you come back to 4, 3. You get rid of the first finger for the open B. Let's beat 3. So we had last part. Open E. First finger is going to come up from the C where it was to the first fret of the third string for a G sharp. You're going to go thumb, index, ring on the open E, so you have 6, 3, 1, back to 3. Neat? So measure 4 was the A minor shape going 4, 3, 2, 3. Open E, 6, 3, 2, 3. Back to 4, 3, 2, 3 without the first finger. Open E, G sharp, high E, G sharp. So back to neat. So all together now, here's where we're at. So that's given us the first 5 measures of this study in A minor. With again, the main thing we're working on is thumb, and then we said you had 2 different ways of picking the exercise. You can go index, middle, ring. I'm just using my high open E here. 1 E and 2 E, and so the thumb is always on the B. Tick, 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 tick. And you also hear me talk a lot about the lesson. If you put the metronome twice as fast, your metronome would then be playing 8th notes, so you'd have tick, 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 tick. So it would tick on the first and the third, which sometimes makes it a lot easier to play with a metronome. So you can try that if you find having it set to the 16th notes is troublesome. And we said 2 things. You can either go thumb, index, middle, ring, or thumb, ring, middle, index. So index, middle, ring, or ring, middle, index. It's up to you. Whichever feels more comfortable. But that's the basis of this whole piece. Oops. I'm pretty sure I just played it wrong, but ignore that and pay attention to what I taught prior to that. I think I just did one thing wrong. I think I added a C where there wasn't one. I'd have to watch the playback to even see if I did that. So we're almost done. We'll go a little bit further because that's going to take us to this. If I can play it right. And that's the end of this first phrase. Okay, so a quick recap and then we'll learn the last little part. Measure 1. Remember the trick with that measure was to keep that middle finger on that A, 2nd fret of your 3rd string the whole time, and that continues that pattern we talked about. It's really just 4 notes with the thumb, A, C, F, underneath the C, E. Then that took us to the next part, which gave us this D minor shape. We said it's an A minor shape with C in the bass, not overly concerned with the name. This is like an E7 with a B in the bass, back to A minor, and then measure 3. We said that was kind of easy because the right hand stays the same all the way through, thumb, index, middle, index. D, D sharp, and all we did was move chromatically up that fourth string. Then we had to switch to this A minor chord for measure 4. Take away the first finger, basically an E chord, but we only need the G sharp, and back to measure 5, which was the same as measure 1. Measure 6 now. Oh, brilliant. It's the same as measure 2. It's the D minor again, the A minor with kind of the C in the bass, that E7 with B in the bass, A minor again. Oh, so I didn't even make that connection before. So measure 6 is the same as measure 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Making sure I did that right. Yeah, measure 6 is the same as measure 2. You're actually almost done. And measure 7 is actually going to be very similar to measure 3. Starts the same way, with just that first middle finger on the A, going 4, 3, 2, 3, D sharp, same thing, E, oh, little tiny bit different. This time, when we go to the E, we actually have to go back to that A minor chord because we need this C. And then we're going to put our first finger on that G sharp again. We're going to go 6, 3, 2, 1. And we're to the end, the last measure of this phrase. So if you're with me so far, you've made it. So again, remember, measure 3 was the same, or sorry, measure 2 was the same as measure, what did we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then measure 7 was the same as measure 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost the same as measure 4. Anyway, a lot of similarities here, right? So it's not as bad as you think. Okay, last part after we do this. We're going to go A minor, but this time we only need the 2 fingers. First finger on this first fret of your second string, second finger on the second fret of your third string. We're going to go 5, 3, 2, 1, thumb, index, middle, ring. First finger comes down to this F, first fret of your high E string, pull off the string. I'm using my index here, but you could probably use your middle too. It's up to you. D sharp, the 4th fret of your B string, open E again, and then A, 5th fret of your high E string. That's the end. You may want to play this D sharp with your 3rd finger instead of your 4th. And that's it. All together, here's what we have. I don't know what happened to my light. Have fun. It's super fun. And it sounds really cool fast. I used to be able to play it really fast. I don't know if I can anymore because I just kind of picked it back up today for this stream. But let me attempt it. See what happens. No. Anyway, you get the idea. But you hear me talk about this in all my lessons and all the live streams. Speed is nothing more than playing it over and over again, setting your metronome, gradually speeding it up, but always stay in control. If you get to a point where you don't have control, like I just did right there, you actually don't practice it like that, because if you practice it like that, you're just picking up bad habits. You always want to practice it where you still have control. So bring the metronome where you have control. When you get to that point where you've crossed control, so you know, get whatever that tempo is, and now you don't have control, back it up. A big mistake I used to make in my early days of playing I would think, well, I can already play it at, let's say, 80 beats per minute. I can't play it at 90. I'm not going to practice at 80 because I can already play it at 80, so I'm going to practice at 90. But I couldn't play it at 90, so when I would be practicing at 90, I would be making a mess. I would be sloppy, and then all I was doing was creating bad habits. So probably one of the most important things I ever learned as a younger player was you've got to back it up and practice it where you have control, even if you kind of feel like, well, I can already play it at 80, why am I going to practice at 80? You practice it at 80, and then you jump it to whatever, 84, 82, 84, 85, whatever it is. If you're having trouble, go back to 80. Then the next day, one of those days you're going to move it to 82 or 84, whatever the tempo is you choose, and it's going to be smooth. And you're going to go, oh, and then do it that way. But most important thing, practice it where you still have control. Don't practice it where you don't have control. You can try practicing it where you don't have control just to see, to set your goals and your limits, but don't. If you're practicing it making a mess, don't keep practicing it making a mess, picking up bad habits. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. Subscribe, musiclearning.com is the site. Lots of great lessons there. Just finished a finger pick series, which is really cool, so you can check that out. Very reasonably priced and guides you through all kinds of stuff. And then musiclearning.com, Trip Fuse here is the channel, and subscribe, turn your notifications on so you'll be notified. I'm going to do more. David, so much. I'm glad you made it in. Ratty from Russia, thanks so much for popping in too. And and then we'll see you all soon. Stay something. Someone, David, someone is making dinner. Yeah, Mom is making dinner. Oh no, it's cake. Cake is coming out. Yeah. So have fun with that one. That's a really fun one. Like I said, I think I might do. The beginning of Battery, that Metallica song. Actually, I like to teach the whole tune. So cool. Anyway, I'm out. I'm going to stay. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching.